Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. When can you listen to the Sister Speak Show? At 7 p.m. Central. Tune in on the go or at your residential. Spreaker, YouTube, Alexa, or SoundCloud. Interviewing special guests that have been blessed and will bless us. Through spoken word and awareness, knowledge is wealth if you gain it. Share this in the streets, in the burbs, anywhere that we can be heard. It's about that time to elevate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak, come and eat a spiritual treat. It's about that time to stimulate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak, come and eat a spiritual treat.
Welcome, my brothers and my sisters, to coming to the stage on the Sister Speak Show. Oh yes, you are listening live to the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Ayana. Not only am I the host, I'm the creator and producer of the Sister Speak Show. Kingdom Child Recordings, executive producer of the Sister Speak Show. Welcome to all of my first-time listeners and welcome back to all of my regular listeners. I hope you have had, so far, a wonderful day. I hope everything is manifesting in the way that you have prayed for it too. I hope you are holding on and holding out. I hope you have gotten up and you have gotten something today that is accomplishing your passions and your purpose. My brothers and my sisters, we are going to have a wonderful evening because we have a special guest. Oh yes, I'm so excited about this evening, my brothers and sisters. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to explain to you, all of my first-time listeners, a little bit about the Sister Speak Show. We'll take a couple commercial breaks, and then we'll be back, and then we'll wait for my guest to call in, and then we'll vibe out and have a wonderful evening. You can also chat live with me, my brothers and sisters. Just create an account and chat live. If you have any guests for my special guest, Kionna Mullen, then you can also chat live and ask those questions, and we will vibe out with you as well. My brothers and sisters, now check this out. We are a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa, okay? So not only that, we have 6 segments for you. And when you listen to those segments, you can catch special guest interviews, live on location reports, live performances, in-studio interviews, okay? And not only that, the special guests who will be on the Sister Speak Show are dynamic, and they are impacting the communities with their passions. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. We are a cultural renaissance platform, my brothers and sisters, that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb on the Sister Speak Show. We go wisdom on the Sister Speak Show. Okay, my brothers and sisters, we are about making the known known. So now that we have got that in the way, so you can know everything that is in the... look, we are the flavor in your ear, okay? We want to be added to your podcast listening shuffle because we are an international podcast, my brothers and sisters. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take a couple commercial breaks. We'll be back, and then we will vibe out. Okay? Let's go. Stay on the Sister Speak Show. I'm coming to the stage from Dallas, Texas at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Coming to the stage where we focus on poets, spoken word artists, poetess, actors, actresses, and film directors. My special guest, poetess Kionna Mullen. I'm so excited about this special interview because she and I are going to vibe out, hopefully listen to a couple of her pieces, and just really focus on what does it mean to be a poetess in 2018 on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. This week on the Sister Speak Show, starting tonight live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Coming to the Stage, my special guest will be poetess Kionna Mullen. Wednesday, The Search Effort. Thursday, The Culture Climate. Friday, The Laugh Line. Saturday, The Tour. And then on Sunday, on the platform, my special guest will be author Sai Assad. I'm so excited about both of my special guest interviews, as well as the audio performances we have on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Listening. New abilities of available from Spreaker Skill on Amazon Alexa. With Spreaker on Alexa, you can now listen to the Sister Speak Show from even more places from all around the world. You also have navigation control, fast forward and rewind podcast to make sure you never miss a second of your favorite show. And then you can ask for show recommendations like the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. My brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Sister Speak Show. You are listening live to Coming to the Stage. And look, what you can get on Coming to the Stage is this. Like, we focus on poets, poetess, spoken word artists, film directors, actors, stage plays. You know, we really focus on the arts because it is spiritual inspiration shared through the arts, my brothers and sisters. And so with that in mind, when you listen to Coming to the Stage, you know, we highlight local, national, and international spoken word artists, you know, whether it is through them being an actual special guest on the Sister Speak Show, or whether they are, you know, just via video clips that I research and say, you know what, this would be really good for my listening audience. So that's what we're about, because to be a spoken word artist, you know, whether it is past, present, and definitely for the future, you have to really have something to say. And there are so many gifted spoken word artists, and everybody, you know, that has come on the Sister Speak Show so far has just been phenomenal. Their gifts are absolutely remarkable because their style and their awareness and their intelligence, it just all merges together and creates this wonderful speech, if you will. And that's what it's about. It's about, what does your speech reflect? And, you know, speaking on stage, especially through the avenue of, through the art of poetry, it just really allows you to heal. It allows you to connect. And it allows you almost to be, if you will, a trailblazer for those who don't have the courage to stand up and say what you're saying. And you know the benefits are there from such a thing, because people will walk up to you and say, thank you for saying that. Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about that. Or I wrote a poem like that the other day. You know, you never know who you are impacting with your passions. And that's what it's about, my brothers and sisters, because this month on the Sister Speak Show, we're focusing on It Takes a Village, because it does. And poets, poetess, spoken word artists, and the likes, they really impact the village, and they're vital, okay? Because when the village heals, the village is a superpower full of solutions. But we have to heal from the pollutions first, okay? And so when you can go before an audience, whether it is of 5 people or of 500 people, no matter what the venue size, okay, and the audience size, you still have to speak your truth with the same power and the same boldness. We can never focus on who's in the audience as far as, oh my gosh, if there's not a large crowd, then I can't do it. Or if it's a small crowd, you know, or if the crowd is too large, you get stage fright and you don't want to go before the people, but you've been given this assignment. So we must understand that when you are passionate about speaking, you have to be willing to speak to a small crowd, a medium-sized crowd, as well as a large crowd. And you know what else? You have to really be willing to speak also in front of the mirror. Oh, yes. Your tongue is very powerful. And we can say some things, curse words, and I'm not talking about the F-bombs and the MF bombs and all those bombs. I'm talking about curse words that hold you back from progressing because you have spoken negatively over your life. Curse words like, I can't, I'm hopeless, I'm a loser, I'll never make it, this is never going to get better, I don't see anything breaking through for me, this always happens to me, I'm sick, you're getting on my last nerve. I'm always broke. I'll never have enough money. You understand what I'm saying to you? Those are curse words. And we have to understand that we have got to change our language so we can tap into all that is supposed to be for us. Because if you are hindering yourself, then we don't have anybody else to blame. Your speech, my brothers and sisters, is absolutely vital to your progression. And it is vital as far as entering into your passions. Okay? So on the Sister Speak show, especially with coming to the stage, I am intrigued by my brothers and sisters' passions. I'm intrigued by what they say. I'm intrigued by the time that they spend to write and create, and the time that they spend going from this venue to that venue to expose their gifts. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And so let's just say that poetry is not your gift, but you enjoy it. We thank you for your support as well, because we need you. You are just as crucial as the spoken word artist on stage. Your presence in the audience is extremely crucial. Okay? Because everything is predestined. Okay? It's no accident, luck, none of that. Okay? You're like, look, if you're in a place to hear something, best believe it was predestined for you to hear it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters? So once my guest calls in, the beautiful, she's absolutely beautiful. When she calls, and her spirit too, she's just very, very, you'll hear her voice as soon as she calls in, and you'll know exactly what I'm saying. She's a beautiful presence and very, very nice, very kind. And I just, can't wait to hear what she has to say. And I can't wait for you to hear what she has to say. So after we vibe out and everything, I'll play a couple clips for you, and then we'll end the show. But I do want you to tune in tomorrow to the search effort on the Sister Speak show. And I'll play some commercials a little later on, and then you'll understand what the search effort is about. And I also want you to listen to the Culture Climate on Thursday. I would like for you to listen to the Laugh Line on Friday. That's when things get a little loose. Still no reckless entertainment. Definitely responsible listening nourishment. But if you like to laugh, I would encourage you to listen to that segment. And then on Saturday, we have the tour, which is dedicated to the music industry. And then we'll have a special guest, obviously, on the platform, Saya Saad. She's an author, and I can't wait to vibe out with her as well. I'm so blessed to have such beautiful, phenomenal, absolutely talented brothers and sisters who come through the Sister Speak show. I am grateful. Shout out to the Netherlands. Shout out to the Philippines, Mexico, Canada, Australia, and Jamaica for listening to the Sister Speak show. I thank you so much. And I hope that we can continue to enter internationally through other airways, through Amazon Alexa. Shout out to Amazon Alexa for syndicating this podcast. And we can just expose my brothers and sisters on an international level. That's what it's about. Because technology has advanced to where, look, we can really reach our brothers and sisters all over. And I just, I could have made this a local show, but I am really for my brothers and sisters who are all over, who have been scattered. You understand what I'm saying to you? So with that being said, thank you so far for listening to the platform and for being a wonderful, wonderful audience. I just want to speak a word of encouragement into you before my guest calls in. And I just want to say to you that no matter where you are right now, I don't want you to kick yourself. I want you to embrace the moment and understand that pictures, old school portraits, they develop in the dark. And if you've ever seen a Polaroid picture, back in the day, you take a Polaroid picture and you have to shake it in order for it to manifest, in order for the picture to show up. So I just want you to be encouraged if you're in the shaking season. Brothers and sisters, calling in live to the Sister Speak show, calling in live to come into the stage is my special guest, Kionna Mullen. Please give her a round of applause. And how are you doing?
I'm doing so well. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for saying yes to being a special guest on Coming to the Stage this evening.
Yes, it's an honor, truly. I'm really grateful.
Oh, thank you so much. So let's just get right into it. As you know, Coming to the Stage is, we focus on the entire aspect of poetry, film, stage plays and things of that nature. And so tonight we want to focus on your passions and your purpose and why you have pursued poetry and what does it mean to be a woman in the lane of poetry. So we're just going to kind of vibe out, get to know who you are, let the audience get to know who you are, and just really just celebrate everything that you're doing with poetry, if that's all right with you.
Yes. So poetry, for me, it is finding my voice and expressing myself to others from a really genuine space in my heart. A lot of the times, it's reflected on my situation or experience, which I feel, a lot of us can relate to because we all go through things that are similar, that are either trying to teach us the same lesson or enlighten us the same way. But as a poet, I feel like I'm able to articulate certain feelings into an image or an experience through words that resonates within people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's my purpose every time I write, because mainly it's for me and what I resonate with and what I am realizing in that moment. And if that can help someone else, then I'm honored to be that catalyst for change or a new realization of their self. And as a woman, being a poet, I think I think that's what really pulled me into poetry. Mm-hmm. When I began to read and research about other poets that were women from, the 80s, the 70s, like way back, who were doing revolutionary things through their words and expression, and that was really inspiring to me, and it just made me realize that, not only were they paving their destiny through the other things that they were doing, but they were able to express themselves transparently and from a place within their heart that was sharing, such a profound truth of theirs. Mm-hmm. That literally was inspiring so many people and, are carried on through decades. And I think that's some kind of mark or legacy I want to leave behind in my writing and my expression of myself.
That's beautiful, and I thank you for sharing that, and that's so true. A lot of our influences do come from our four mothers, if you will, our four sisters, who have just paved the way and have just gotten on stage or even just sat down at a desk, taken out a pen, pencil, and just written such profound words that absolutely revolutionized, the culture. And so who are some of your, female influencers when it comes to poetry?
Well, I'll start with the very first, and that was Maya Angelou that I first discovered amongst Langston Hughes. I was a very big fan of him too. I won't limit it to only female writers, right. But I Shakespeare, all the classics that we originally are shown first, I can't recall their names, can't recall every name very clearly, but those people from the past and even current poets and poetess now, Raina Biddy, I love her work, and who else? Oh, there's so many great people, and I'm so sorry, and they're all in my heart. Sorry that I'm not really good at recalling names, but they all share such enlightenment that is able to highlight things within ourselves and really change the way that we perceive situations and, life in general. So, I feel like the words the expression that each artist is able to express is like literally so profound and beautiful in art.
Yes. And so then what about when it comes to the stage? How powerful do you feel the stage is for the voice?
Stage for the voice. It really depends on how you utilize it. The stage can be anything to you. The stage can be somewhere that you're comfortable, that you're able to record yourself and share something from within that is personal to you, or is being in front of people, speaking to inspire motivation out of others. It can be anywhere that you are able to come and speak from a very sincere place. And in my experience, I feel like the stage is such a short moment. Like, I really feel like I want to expand the stage, and I want to have different platforms where I can use as my stage, so that people are hearing me from all directions, and coming across my voice in many different ways. So, for an example, like this podcast, doing things like this, where people are able to hear you and connect with you and feel you and understand more who you are. I feel like that's a great way to, promote yourself or, reach across an audience.
Oh, yes, definitely. And I thank you for saying that. Like I said, I wanted to be able to provide a platform for my brothers and sisters to be able to come on and just to be able to introduce who they are and to share and highlight, their passions and their gifts. I mean, there's so many of us who get overlooked and or underlooked. And so, with this podcast, it just allows, the law of attraction for just those who are supposed to, come this way, for me to say, hey, look, everybody, look how great this individual is, look at what they're doing. And I just feel like we all need encouragement. We all need a pat on our back, and we all need motivation. And we all need to know that there are people out there who are genuinely concerned about our well-being, that may not be a family member, that can be a complete stranger that ends up being close to you like a family member just because of the love and support that they provide. So that's one of the main objectives for this podcast, is to do that for my brothers and my sisters. And so, like I said, I really appreciate you sharing your insight. One thing I wanted to ask you is, a lot of poets say that poetry saved their lives. Can you relate to that? And if so, how?
Poetry did save my life. I feel like that's where my healing really began. As an adolescent, you're going through many life lessons, and you're trying to figure out who you are, and you're learning yourself through what people are telling you or what you feel that you don't quite always understand. And when you're able to sit down and write and really reflect on what you feel or what you do know about yourself, and you're able to just create an image or an understanding out of words for yourself, it just brings so much clarity and forgiveness and whatever else you may need in that moment. And I feel like that was major for me when I first began writing. I was using it as a way to channel these feelings into poetry, into things that were taking my stifling feelings into hopeful feelings, into, like there is a chance for happiness. There is always another perspective. There's always different interpretations. And that's another thing. Like, when people read my writing, I love to hear how it resonates within them, or what it reminds them of, or what feeling it strikes within them. Because it's like our expressions are the things that we share. They all connect with people differently, and I feel like that is a really great way to, connect with others and then connect deeper with yourself. And poetry really helped me even now, and I feel like it always will, to like help me connect with myself and really trust in myself and my intuition.
I appreciate you sharing that, and I do think it does save lives. I think that you touched on something as far as, adolescence. Puberty is real, and hormones fluctuating up and down, trying to discover who you are, then having to deal with bullies, being awkward, not yet growing into your ears or your eyes, and just having to just deal with all of the force that comes from just being an adolescent. Do you feel that poetry should be focused on in a major way in the schools, so there could possibly be less suicides, maybe less bullying, and more possibly promoting youthful healing, because a lot of times we talk about healing as we get older. I think a lot of youth can correlate healing with, falling down, getting, scraping my knee, and now, I have to put a Band-Aid on it, and that type of healing, but not yet tapping into the spiritual aspect of healing. So do you think poetry should be focused on more in the schools?
Yes, it is a great way to express yourself. Mm-hmm. And I feel like as a child, our parents can tend to make us be quiet or keep things we feel, behind closed doors, or just, keep things hidden and suppressed. And I feel like we all do struggle with expressing ourselves or finding our voice young, and because we're always told, like, hey, stay in a child's place. And a child really does need that compassion, that understanding, needs that guidance. And if they're not able to receive that from home or family or whoever they're around every day, then let that be school, or let that be somewhere that they can roam through their imagination and their feelings, and begin to create new worlds through their expression, because I feel like poetry really helps in separating yourself from suffering to stepping into a reality where it's like, I am a creator. I can change situations and outcomes by honoring my heart, by listening to myself, by saying what I feel when I feel it, by getting these things off my chest and putting them into something that I can look at and admire and be like, yes, like I did that. I am proud of myself. And I feel like it's really, really helping uplift children and really help them be more compassionate in general if they were inspired to really understand emotions and what role they play in our development.
Definitely. No, definitely it does. And our development is so crucial. Even as adults, I feel like there are seasons where I go back into the cocoon. One season I am a butterfly. Next minute, here I am back in the cocoon. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what is this about? But then I just became very comfortable, probably maybe last year, with understanding that there's going to be seasons where I am in flight and there's going to be seasons where I am bound. And that's just what it's going to be, but in that there's development in the flight, and there's also development in that confining space. You know what I mean? And I think that poetry, now I'm kind of going to link it together. I think that what poetry does for those who are, it allows them to understand that things are seasons, go into seasons. And I think poets have an insight, a deep insight into how things flow. I don't know, what do you think about that? Do you think that poets tend to be more insightful than others, or?
I feel like, most poets are intellectuals, so we are always trying to understand life and the origin of life and psychology, and how, we as human beings work as a whole. Like what is my purpose here? Who am I? Am I more than just flesh and bones? We have these questions, and we desire that understanding. And that really comes from a place of being aware of ourselves and reflecting on ourselves. And along with that, I do feel that does make that individual more insightful. But anyone's capable of being insightful. It's just a matter of, taking into account of what you feel and just, reflecting on that and just being honest with yourself about, like, where do those feelings come from? Are those feelings mine?
Right.
Do I want to feel that way? Can I change the way I feel? How can I change the way I feel? How can I change the way I feel? It's just about a matter of asking yourself these questions and being analytical of your life. Being a scientist, looking at your life in a very objective way, even your feelings. So, you don't always have to connect meanings to something, but it's beautiful to, like, in my poetry, for an example, it'll allude that I'm speaking about a significant other or a lover or someone that I'm intimate with, but that literally can just be me talking to myself and how I see myself. So, like, that expression doesn't always have to correlate with, what's going on, between someone and I, but really just a place of inner wisdom where I'm able to look at myself from a higher perspective and see how, I'm integrating lessons or how I'm where I'm supposed to be. And through this journey of introspection is really all it is. Yeah, you do gain more insight of life and yourself and human beings in general. And that's what connects us all. And I feel like poets are very strong in having that soulful language.
Yes.
Getting points across in a really gentle, refreshing way. Because what it's doing is just triggering things within your mind that you already know. And, poets are just helping you remember these things because they've remembered these things. And that's where the spirituality and it all comes into play.
Definitely. I thank you. I thank you for sharing that. Brothers and sisters, you are listening live to Coming to the Stage with my special guest, Kionna Mullen. I'm so excited about this conversation. If you have any questions for her, you can chat live with us, and we're going to go ahead and keep on rolling. So, do you remember the first time you ever performed in front of anybody?
Yes. It was actually just 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. I went to a lounge called Heroes here in Dallas, or a bar, and they were doing an open mic night, and I did my first open mic there, and I was super nervous, but it was really great because they were all so supportive, and I got to create with great poets and people in general who inspired me, and for a while I was just kind of going to these shows already, just watching them and seeing how everybody, like how people did their thing and how they went about, expressing themselves, because I admire that a lot. So it really took me a while to come out of my shell to start expressing this gift I have and realizing that it is a gift, because I was always writing, just for myself, and I still write primarily for myself, but to share that with people, it was really kind of nerve-wracking for me, because I was like, I guess I'm vulnerable with people, this is really personal, and I even have trouble with that now. Like, I'm like, should I share that, or should I say that in front of them? Like, what would they think? Like, I used to have those thoughts, but I've worked through those now to where it's like, I don't care. I have a message to get across.
That's right.
Either take it or leave it. Do whatever you want with it, but
that's
what it is.
Yes, Kionna. Now, yes, my sister. Yes, that's what it is. It's about, you know what? I've been given this thing to say, and I'm going to say it. And that's what it's about. But, we all have to work through nerves and the shyness of our vulnerabilities. And, we all work through what will they think? Well, if I say this, will I lose or gain support? But then, the truth is the truth. And there's nothing worse than that long drive home where you have to kick yourself because you should have said it, but you didn't. You know what I mean? And I think I can correlate that also to the word yes and no. And this is for all of my brothers and sisters listening. Have you ever been in a situation where you said yes when you wanted to say no, and you said no when you should have said yes? And that grapple right there, that whole tug of war right there deals with other people and how they will react or what they will feel. And we have to really be firm. If you don't want to do something, you need to say no. And if you want to do something, you need to say yes. And so I just want us to understand that, I think when we finally get more comfortable in who we are and get uncomfortable with how other people will think about us, then I think we will really be able to speak in a way that is extremely powerful and will change lives. Because look, the truth may hurt. The truth can be very hard. Okay. But the truth saves lives.
It really does. It'll set you free. It's a liberating experience to, face truth.
Yes.
This isn't trying to do anything but help you embrace love for yourself again.
Yes.
So, you're right on point. And me and my husband had this talk a couple of days ago where if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. Don't worry about making other people happy,
right,
or, just compromising yourself. That means that you're falling short on your behalf. So,
no, definitely.
Confidence. I think we all worry about if people think we're weird or doing something abnormal, and all these self-conscious things that we may think, when it's like people are not really looking at you like that at all, and they could be having those exact same thoughts about themselves.
Right.
But we're all people. We're all desiring connection. We're all desiring to be, loved and accepted and seen for who we truly are. So why not start seeing people like that and, just looking at everyone as an opportunity to connect with.
No, definitely. And also, I think we have to realize that our flight can make those who have yet to leave the nest, they can make them very fearful. And a lot of times people will try to talk you out of your altitude. Understand what I'm saying today, brothers and sisters? Don't let anybody talk you out of your altitude. If you're flying, you're flying. And this is going to hurt for a lot of people, but I have to say it. Look, if mama chose not to fly and you've been given the spirit to fly, you better fly. If daddy chose not to fly and you've been given the spirit to fly, you better fly. If your aunties and your uncles and your cousins and your brothers, they chose not to fly, but you've been given the spirit to fly, you better fly. Don't you miss out on your altitude because other people are comfortable staying in the nest. And a lot of people will try to intimidate you and talk you straight out of flight because they have not jumped to what they should have been doing. And they know that they have a call on their life to do whatever it is that they're supposed to do. And then next thing you know, you see a family member or a friend or whomever doing something that is leaping out on faith, and now it makes you uncomfortable. So then you start to hate. Then you start to speak negative things, and then, you try to talk down what's really going up for them. So I just want to encourage everybody to tap into your passions and your purpose so you won't be a hater, so you won't smell like, woods and sticks and all that other type of stuff. So you don't have to stay in embryo. We've got to understand that if we see other people taking flight, you better flock together. That's all I got to say. We have to flock together. You can't sit in the nest forever, and you can't hate on somebody who is in mid-flight. That's just a word for y'all today on the Sister Speak Show on Coming to the Stage with my special guest, Kionna.
Yes, that was beautiful.
Thank
so
you.
On point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So how would you describe your poetry?
I would say my poetry is very mystic and very... I speak in a lot of metaphors. I'm very imaginative. There's not always a literal sense or a precise understanding to what I write. It's very spiritual and mystic, and I'm trying to really pull out of emotion out of you through what I'm saying, or I'm trying to create an image where you can experience whatever it is you want to, but just this is what I'm giving you, and this is what you can make it as. I'm always applying double meaning to my writing. I'm probably talking about more than one experience in my writing, too. So, my writing is really kind of all over the place. I try different styles. I try different ways of expressing myself. Because for me, I want to show that I'm growing, that I'm evolving, not only as a person, but in the way I express myself, too. And I really enjoy it. It's very creative. My writing is completely right-brained most of the time.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And so then, what do you think, or how much can you look back and say that you have evolved just as a person from the time that you were, first starting writing to where you are now?
I would say, when I first started writing, it was because I got my heart broken.
Oh, yes.
I think we all kind of start writing about somebody who hurt our feelings, and just kind of seeing ourselves in the light of a victim often. And that's where I began in my journey. And I'm grateful for those experiences and how and what I wrote, because I was able to reflect on that and see, where was it that I needed to love myself more, or what can I give myself, and things like that. And so now my writing, I can write as a hero of my journey. I can show how I saved myself through taking the time to understand myself and, express from an authentic place rather than a place of expectation from others. And I really appreciate how I continue to show myself that I'm always challenging myself to look at things from a higher perspective. I'm holding myself accountable now for the things that take place in my life and the ways that I feel. I look at my experiences now as ways to connect deeper with myself and learn more about myself, especially. And that's really been my therapy over these last couple of years.
I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I think reflection is good, and it's always good to know that who you were 2 years ago, you aren't necessarily that individual now. And wisdom is a beautiful gift. And I think that when we go through our journeys and our experiences, we are supposed to extract the lesson and then be able to share the lesson with those who we meet on our journey. A lot of times, some people become bitter because of their experiences, and so that hinders them from manifesting. It slows them down. And so one thing you touched on was earlier, you talked about forgiveness. And so I just want to hear your perspective of how important is forgiveness in this journey?
It is the ultimate key to creating the reality that you truly, truly, truly desire. Forgiveness is so powerful. It's probably how we perceive love to be in society. Forgiveness is a gateway to your blessings.
Yes.
When you're able to release those negative feelings towards others and yourself especially, that's your freedom. You liberate yourself. You open your life and your mind to newer heights, and you evolve as an individual overall. Like, everything around you begins changing, and people begin responding to you differently, because now that you have forgiven others and yourself, you are able to feel love. You know, when we hold on to grudges and resentment or what someone did to us, we are denying ourselves of love. Because we don't want to give this love to another person. I'm saying we don't want to give ourselves love. Because it doesn't matter what the person said or did. That people are a mirror or reflection of you. They did that because for some reason that's what you needed to learn in that moment. But at their core, they're still probably a good and pure person, just like you are. But you guys are just here to teach each other something. And you have to be able to honor that lesson while looking at that individual as someone who's learning themselves and also doing the best with what they know at all times. So no matter what, that's pure divinity. Like, that's them sharing themselves with you as you are sharing yourself with them. And you are able to take in that lesson, take in that growth, take in that forgiveness, and you allow love to navigate you instead of letting hate or fear or rejection or anything where you're denying yourself of love to come through. So forgiveness is major key to healing and setting yourself free and, you know, to let go of the chains of fear. Because that's all it is fear of loving yourself, fear of something being more than what it is. And everything has potential to transform into something better. And I think the way to do that is through forgiveness.
Yes. I told you, brothers and sisters, she had a beautiful spirit. I told you. I mean, I had already let everybody know that we have a beautiful sister calling in. She has a beautiful spirit. And I said, look, as soon as you hear her voice, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. So, you know, I just want to, of course, I just want to take the time out just to commend you for, you know, how well spoken you are and how you are absolutely, you know, just when you speak, it is just it's just like a melody. It's just very beautiful and it's engaging and it's sincere and it's genuine. And I just appreciate that about you, you know, just being kind and being in touch with who you are and sharing your experience, your journey, and your style of poetry with the communities, whether it be a group of 5 or a group of 500 or a group of 50 or just you in the mirror with yourself, you know, just being able to bless us with your presence and impact the communities with your passions. So I applaud you and I appreciate you for that. You know, one thing that you don't have to, but is there a piece of poetry that you would like to share with the listening audience, just so they can just get a feel for who you are, and then, you know, we'll give them your social media information and all of that. But first, you know, I would, if you could, please bless us with a piece of yours, if you have it.
I would love to, and before I do, I want to thank you so much for your love and kindness and your thoughtfulness and all the words that you blessed me with. You are such a beautiful, divine soul, too, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my gifts and my insights and love with you and everyone listening today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
And this is something that I just recently wrote. I do have a project that I will be releasing later this year.
Oh.
So I'm keeping something to myself until then, but this one I will share with you all. Okay. Silence expands the mind, further and often, to remind us. Creation's day brewing inside, our energies alive, come from the canvas of mind. Thoughts we redeem in our own light, before color, blackness is the beauty of a still mind.
Thank you so much. We have to give you a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you know, one thing you mentioned is that you have something coming up. You're going to keep it to yourself, but whatever it is, I just want you to know that this is a platform that you can always come back on to share anything that you have going on, because you are Sister Speak Show family. Just want you to know that you always got a place to come through and to share whatever it is that you have going on. We support it from here on out, just to let you know.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love every artist that I see come on this platform. So thank you for also giving me a community to connect with other great artists. Thank you.
Oh, of course. No problem. You are definitely welcome. So first off, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
All right. So my Twitter and Instagram handle are both at Kionna MU, KIONNAMU. And I have a poetry blog that is foreverphil.com.
Okay, now say that again so we can make sure that we check it out.
And I have a poetry blog, foreverphil.com.
Okay, foreverphil.com, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so, you've already been giving us words of wisdom. So if for any engagements or anything that for bookings in the local Dallas area or even abroad, so do they need to get in touch with you through your Instagram, or how can they do that?
I would like if you would email me.
Okay.
On my website for my poetry, foreverphil.com, there is a contact page where you can send me a message directly through that. That works perfectly fine. Or if you're comfortable with messaging me through Instagram, I'm okay with that.
Perfect. Okay, that's good. We just wanted to make sure we clear all that. So brothers and sisters, look, you need to make sure that you support this sister and everything that she does, because I support her. And you already know that the special guests who come to the Sister Speak show are phenomenal. I have heavy hitters. Grand slams every single time. So I'm really excited about that. I want you to support everything that she does. One thing I'm having a feeling if I ask this question that I might be exposing what your upcoming thing is that you're keeping to yourself. So I just know that you have some great things coming out, and we'll be able to see more of what you have going on, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it at all. So one thing I wanted to do is ask you to, say hello to anybody that you would like to say hello to. And then we're going to close it out with you providing the listening audience, the international listening audience, with your words of wisdom. Anything that you just want to share that's on your heart that would, bless their spirits this evening. I mean, you've already been such a blessing, but just to continue to keep it going. So shout out and then your words of wisdom.
Well, shout out to my mom. I got to give her the shout out. And shout out to my family, my husband, and my mother-in-law, and anyone who else is listening that's supporting me. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. And shout out to me, and shout out to the Sister Speak show. Also, the last thing I have for you all today, to just be gentle with yourself and love yourself a little more each and every day. If there's something out there that you feel that you deserve, go after it. Don't let anyone take you away from going after what your heart tells you that you want or that you need in that moment. It's always leading you in the right direction. And I hope that you can honor that and trust in that.
Beautiful. Well said. You know what? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you I'm going to put a copy of the show in your direct message, and you can do whatever you need to do with that. But first, I want to ask you, did you have a great time on the Sister Speak show?
Yes, it was a wonderful time. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. And would you mind coming back on the show again?
Of course. I'm the family now.
Yes, thank you. That's what I'm talking about. So I really appreciate that. And, another question I'm going to start asking, would you recommend this show as far as other people wanting to come through here and get an interview? Do you think this would be a good place for people to come through and get an interview?
Yes, it's a wonderful place. You have great energy. You hold a great conversation. It's very empowering and insightful, and you really have a unique vibe to this. I really enjoy it, and support Black businesses. That's all I have to say. say.
Yes. Thank you so much, my sister. And with that being said, this is not goodbye. This is well, first of all, I want to say shout out to all of the listeners who are supporting my sister this evening, to all of the people she said hello to. Hello to you all as well. Thank you all for sharing this beautiful sister queen with the Sister Speak show. She is definitely a blessing, and I know you all enjoy her presence as well. So thank you so much. And with that being said, this isn't goodbye. This is just going to simply be, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, thank you. Okay, brothers and sisters, we have a winner, the beautiful, beautiful Kionna Mullen. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, my brothers and sisters, we are back to coming to the stage. Oh, that was a beautiful interview, wasn't it? Oh, I love the vibes. I love my brothers and sisters. I mean, we are some of the dopest people in the world. Just have to say that. So anyway, brothers and sisters, as I promised you, you know what? I promised you that I was going to play some clips for you in honor of poetry and just, keeping with the vibe and everything. So I found a couple. I'm just going to play a couple for you all because I know you all have things to do, but I'm going to definitely play a couple for you all. And what we'll do after that is we'll listen to a couple commercial breaks and we will vibe on out of here, my brothers and sisters. I thank you for being the wonderful listening audience that you are. You all are special to me internationally, locally, nationally. I really just appreciate you all for what you do and how you continue to keep the Sister Speak show going. It means a lot to me. So here we go. I'm going to play for you. And if you hear a dog barking in the background, I am convinced that my neighbor's dog has anxiety. For real, because it's just unnecessary. I mean, like, it's really unnecessary, just all day long, just like, what's going on? But anyway, my brothers and sisters, here we go. Let's look at this one. This is called For Light-Skinned Black Girls, and the poetess is Lo Campbell, and you can check out all of the poets that I'm highlighting.
For light-skinned black girls who have considered art when their color on the rainbow was not enough. White walls sketched with these invisible divisions. Do you see us? Does our color blend in? Are we still a punchline? Still too light to be black, too black culture to fit anywhere else? Malcolm X told us then. Keeps telling us now the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected woman in America is the black woman. But we can't find unity in black women. There is no team light-skin hashtag that will save me. The truth will ground me, and when we fall, gravity won't care which black bodies pass the paper bag test. And little black girl's ashamed of her exclusion. It hangs around her neck like a family heirloom. North Carolina Cardinal screeches different every time she opens her mouth to speak with confidence. Finally claps like rubber against concrete as she double dutches her way into friendship. In the aorta of Harlem, her body grows strong enough to convince herself segregation is over. That little black girl transformed into a black woman. Excuse me, I mean a light black woman with light eyes and freckles. Long ago learned to add unnecessary adjectives to her identity so everyone knows she acknowledges her privilege. People get mad when she uses it, when she doesn't use it. Light black girl so light she grows invisible sometimes with these brownies. She is unwritten protest sign and reads, ask me, what am I? Never believe black, always ask more questions. So watch me go cry these light-skinned tears in massive house. Cause they not just a house nigga trying to Rachel Dolezal my way to the front line. My skin ain't fighting from the generations of Jezebels in my family's hymens being broken by our masses. Ain't we still all slaves? Ain't our skin different colors? Don't it bleed that same spiritual blood spilled over on all those boats that brought us here? And we all still trying to underground railroad ourselves from mental slavery. And in 2016, ain't I still talking about this shit? Ain't my skin light? Ain't I still scared the men in my family be target practice? That the women in my family be trying to raise little girls to be good women?
Brothers and sisters, that is Lo Campbell. Let's give her a round of applause. As I was saying to you, my brothers and sisters, you can catch this poet and other poets on All Deaf Poetry on YouTube. I cite my references. That's where I'm getting this source from. I do not own any of these videos or anything like that. I just take them off of YouTube. So just understand that, my brothers and sisters. I have another one for you. This one is called Heritage, and it's spelled Hairitage. And this is with Ebony Stewart. And after we hear that, then like I said, we will move forward and listen to some commercials, and then we're going to be out of here. I love the fire of our spoken word artists, the ones I highlight and the ones who come on the show. It's absolutely amazing. This is by Button Poetry out of
women for
North Carolina.
Negro women, for women who have different colors. Nina Simone, my skin is black, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain, inflicted again and again. Black angels are descending. In my mother's words are divided into quadrants in a single plat. She interlaces stories, arranges strength, and teaches patterns, gives hands no longer hands their technique. Transferring information, I am nappy around my edges, saying my roots haven't always been free. My mother says we laid across each other like shackled barrettes on slave ships, and they killed the natives, so she wasn't told how many times we've been called out our names. Said my grandmother sung strands of gospel. Anyway, Negro spirituals, in the way she braids, she is beautiful. In the way she braids, weaving mistakes. To remind me there will always be a hair out of place and there will never be enough time to fix it. So tread lightly, braid carefully. She, my mother, uses words like rivers made up of tears. I can still feel the waves of how many times she wanted to cry but refuses to acknowledge pain as the intricate pleat of beauty. So I asked, could I just be a ponytail mama? Braids take too long. They too complicated and my head hurts. She told me that wasn't her, that's society. That some people are more comfortable with us walking narrow, looking fine. She says when your hair's a mess, they think your life is too. And I should have given them the satisfaction of knowing my business better than me. My mother uses one hand to keep me in place while the other hand is a rubber band pulled tight like grandma's grip on family. She makes a knot and says, this is a fist. For whenever you are weak, you are also strong. And I wanted to go back, look back to when I was more than just a color, light skin, dark skin. Ebony is always in. My mother calls me pretty. She says all black girls are, and how could our hair not be the source of what makes us grow? Don't be brittle in your strength, just character based on length. You have no idea what I did to get here in this moment. I am a woman. And the only difference is the way I hold my head, and even that was inherited. See, tomorrow we could start over, but today we gotta walk like we flawless with a theme song. And so when I'm undone, when I'm naked in the sunlight, holding the moon in the palm of my hand, we are linked up. And my mother is still transferring information through gifts we call hands.
Brothers and sisters, Ebony Stewart. Brothers and sisters, you are listening live to the Sister Speak Show. We are we are recording live in Dallas, Texas this evening, my brothers and my sisters. I thank you so much. Now, this is what we're going to do. Actually, I'm going to play a couple commercials for you, and then I have one more clip for you all that I think you're going to enjoy.
Speak Show is even easier now with the new abilities available from Spreaker Skill on Amazon Alexa. With Spreaker on Alexa, you can now listen to the Sister Speak Show from even more places from all around the world. You also have navigation control, fast forward and rewind podcasts to make sure you never miss a second of your favorite show. And then you can ask for show recommendations like the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. the Sister Speak Show starting tonight live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Coming to the Stage. My special guest will be poetess Kionna Mullen. Wednesday, The Search Effort. Thursday, The Culture Climate. Friday, The Laugh Line. Saturday, The Tour. And then on Sunday, on the platform, my special guest will be author Sai Assad. I'm so excited about both of my special guest interviews, as well as the audio performances we have on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action.
Brothers and sisters, we are back, and we are live on Coming to the Stage on the Sister Speak Show. I thank you all for being a wonderful, wonderful listening audience so far. We're getting ready to close out this episode of the Sister Speak Show. I just want to encourage you all to listen tomorrow to The Search Effort. The Search Effort is, where we focus on local, national, and international situations in our community that have to deal with cold cases, disappearances, things of the sort. We really want to provide a platform for those who have loved ones that have gone missing to come on here and provide a search effort for that. Not only that, we focus on those who have gone missing and who are part of the blackandmissing.org website. And we encourage you, brothers and sisters, to go to that website and just to look. It doesn't hurt to look, because you could have seen somebody who has gone missing, and they have been very successful with reuniting missing loved ones. And, we just wanted to just bring attention to that, because not enough urban platforms there are not enough national platforms for this type of awareness. I am not the first. I'm not the last. I'm just joining the crusade to bring awareness to those who have gone missing in our communities, cold cases in our communities. Not only that, special guest interviews with coroners, with homicide detectives, investigators, private investigators, things of the sort who deal with this type of tragedy that occurs. And I also want to interview survivors, those who have survived a stalking, an obsession, a kidnapping, how they were more than a conqueror during that trial. I'm just very intrigued with that. So if you are, someone who likes to listen to For My Man, Fatal Attraction, Dateline ID, First 48, and things of that nature, then the search effort is there for you. And I just want you to know that. So please listen live. We highlight some very, very interesting stories, to say the most, on the Sister Speak Show. So not only that, we want you to listen to the Culture Climate. The Culture Climate consists of the Hues, hearing unique, exceptional stories. It focuses on situations in our communities that need a 911. A lot of real and raw communication comes on that particular segment. It's really for mature audiences only. And then we have the Laugh Line, which is local, national, and international attention and awareness of our comedians. We have special guest comedians come on. I do a 10-minute sit-down comedy part that's called She Is Funny. So we just really get to highlight comedians and all of what goes on with that. And it's a really, really great show. So if you're into comedy, I really strongly suggest that you listen to the Laugh Line, because look, any of the shows that I have going on, you don't have to worry about any funk popping off, no drama. You just get to sit back and have get your listening tickets and just sit back and unwind and just enjoy, right? Pull back from the TV and listen to some great podcasts like this is the Speak Show. Anyway, and then we have, my brothers and sisters, the Tour, which covers every aspect of the music industry. And then we have the Platform, which deals with entrepreneurs, community advocates, influencers, creative artists, as well as authors. So I'm really excited about these segments. We're going to add more to the Sister Speak Show, but we want to kind of focus on these for right now, and just really invite you to continue to listening to the Sister Speak Show. Spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and involve. Brothers and sisters, don't forget that when you are listening to the Sister Speak Show, you will be listening to special guest interviews, live performances, in-studio interviews, and live on-location reports. Don't forget that the special guests who will be on the Sister Speak Show are dynamic and impacting the communities with their passions. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. We are a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening, nourishment. We don't go dumb, we go wisdom. And the Sister Speak Show is about making the known known. With that being said, my brothers and sisters, before we close out, I have a clip for you tonight for It Takes a Village. It Takes a Village is the theme for this month's podcast. All the shows. February, It Takes a Village. Why? Because it does. We are accountable, my brothers and sisters. You cannot be lazy. If you're lazy, then I would consider you to be the idiot. And I don't want you to be the idiot. You can be delivered from being an idiot. Trust me. So, with that being said, what are you doing in the village? How are you helping the village? How are you being of service in the village? So I commissioned some spoken word artists, dope ones, to provide us with their perspective, their insight on It Takes a Village. So this evening, again, I want to quickly just draw your attention to this particular insight from the artist known as Derek Ben Israel. Dope artist, extremely gifted. Fire, a lot of fire. I want you to remember that name because you're going to see it and you're going to hear him. So anyway, brothers and sisters, this is from Derek Ben Israel, It Takes.
It takes a village to raise a child, line them up single file with other children and teach them that they're pilgrims. It takes a village to raise a child and install the spirit that will guide and lead them away from the hand of the heathen. It takes a village to raise a child up in the wild where hyenas like to grub on the flesh of lion cubs. But the village forms a ring around the cub till he's a king. Then the king rules the village and the king protects the village. And the king multiplies the village that raises the child single file in the wild with other children, taught them that they're pilgrims, and installed the spirit that led them away from the heathens, the hyenas that would catch and behead them. Because the king knows the way the king grows is in the village. So he acknowledges that to lead them is a privilege. And the village knows the only way a village grows is with the king. So they acknowledge that following the child is a good thing. What will this bring? A divine appointment with the King of Kings. Do you want to meet him is the question.
Brothers and sisters, Derek Ben Israel. Brothers and sisters, I thank you so much for listening to the Sister Speak Show this evening. Spiritual inspiration shared through the arts, spiritual inspiration shared through Kionna. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I expect you to tune back tomorrow to the Sister Speak Show. I want you to tune in all week, and please share with your brothers and your sisters who we are. Okay? We are a syndicated podcast that is here to stay. We are the flavor in your ear, and we should be a part of your listening palette. My brothers and my sisters, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening and the rest of your week. I hope it is blessed, and I really pray that you hold on and you don't give up. I don't want you to give up. I really want you to hold on. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but you better hold on. I know it's rough. I know it is hard. Some of you are saying you don't understand how hard it is. How could you? Look, the Lord, in order for me to be able to speak to you, I have to go through some things that will qualify me to be able to speak to you. So when I tell you, I know that it's hard. I know that it's rough. I know it looks bleak. I know that you can also see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm advising you to hold on. You are one step closer to the touchdown line. You are one step closer. Hold on. Okay? Things are going to get better for you. And this isn't some rinky-dink type of cliche type of talk. This is the truth. It too shall pass. Hold on and be encouraged. Until we meet again tomorrow, take care.